Wow, it's passion fruity.
Hi, welcome to Yoga One, Ubud Bali. My name is Punnu Singh Wasu.
This meditation that I experienced in your class, this is called Ananda Mandala, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about Ananda Mandala?
Sure. So, Ananda means bliss. Mandala is sitting in a circle experiencing the bliss. So, it's a 5,000-year-old technique derived from Agni Sar Kriya and was recently redeveloped by the disciples of Sri Amma and Bhagwan in the Vanas University. So, it involves in rapid breathing all through the nose at the count of 1 and 2. So when you hear 1 deep inhalation into the abdomen, when you hear 2 rapid exhalation, forceful exhalation. So there are 7 cycles of such breathing, and they are slow, medium and fast. In one cycle there will be 3 different speeds. After each cycle of breathing there will be a pause where you will hear 2, then exhale completely and hold the breath, and then we'll be focusing on the chakras periodically, on the 7 major chakras from 1 to 7. So this is the technique. Now the beauty of this meditation, it works so immensely, profoundly, deeper work, physical, mental, emotional and spiritual states. So physically one might experience a surge of energy into each and every cell of the body, cold and hot sweats, shaking, shivering, movements. One might also experience numbness, tingling sensation, pins and needles. Also tatne, which is cramping of the hands. The hands go into chicken hands.
You said that's called tatne?
Tatne.
Is that an English word or?
I think it's a scientific. It's a
Tatne.
Tatne.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe I'm not pronouncing it right, but I'll just check it out. I think it's used in the medical field, so it goes into like a chicken hands.
Chicken hand sounds better.
Yeah. So physically, one might experience that. Emotionally, there are so many emotions that we all go through, or what we have gone through, or we are still going through. And these emotions are stored in the cells if they are not experienced or released. So these emotions are there from since the time we were in the mother's womb up until now. These emotions, whether it's anger, fear, jealousy, hurt, hatred, compassion, love, lust, whatever is guilt, shame, any emotion that has not been experienced fully or released, it remains in the cells and it becomes an electrical charge and further multiplies and it becomes disease. So these emotions also start coming up in the form of cry, laughter, scream, shout. And of course, the mind, which is all over the place, we all talk about controlling the mind, but as we go deeper into the meditation, as we go deeper into the breath, the mind comes to a halt, a state of total being one with the breath. And the other beautiful, profound things which shift happens is awakening of the Kundalini Shakti, which is the life force energy, which is lying dormant in most of us. That also gets impacted.
So, would you say that the purpose of the meditation is the awakening of the Kundalini, or would you say that there is a purpose, and if there is a purpose, what is the purpose?
Purpose is awakening of the Kundalini, and awakening, flowering of the heart, self-realization and God realization. It creates a neural pathways in the brain.
So this awakening, that's really the purpose of my journey around the world, is to really understand what is this awakening and what does it really mean? What does it mean to experience that? What does it feel like?
Awakening is in a simple words, you can say, seeing the reality as it is, without the interpretation of the mind. Being in the now, in the present, not in the past, not in the future, but this moment. Seeing the reality as it is.
So, if we awaken into reality as it is, what are we awakening from?
From the dream state. Yeah. So basically, there are two kinds of dream. One which when we are sleeping, we are dreaming. This is also a state of dream, waking up dream. So we wake up, we actually realize that who we really are.
Who are we really?
So we are that unconditional love. We are the existence, consciousness, bliss.
When you say existence, consciousness, bliss, is that one, how do I phrase this? Is that one being, that existence, consciousness, bliss? Or is that different parts of one being, or how would you describe that?
We are part of that one being. Yeah. We are all part of that one being.
So this existence, consciousness, bliss, does that exist even if there are no humans and no animals to experience it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And is its nature still consciousness and still bliss even if there's no nervous system to be able to process it?
All the nature is already into that state. Yeah.
Even in the cold dark of space.
Absolutely.
It's all existence, consciousness, bliss. And we as humans, we're receptacles for it, and we are able to connect to it and experience it, but
Yes.
we also are it.
Yes. Yes.
I like that. Thank you. We're just discussing the existence, consciousness, bliss that we tap into through meditation. So is that the purpose of meditation, is to connect with that?
See, these techniques are not actually meditation, although we use the name meditation. Actual meditation is when the meditation starts meditating you. That's when the meditation happens. So these are just techniques that leads as a bridge to that we are. When we abide into that, what we are, into our true nature, Sat-Chit-Ananda, existence, consciousness, intelligence, and bliss.
Wow. All right, that's amazing. So techniques are sort of a bridge to be able to get into that, not even to get into something, but just to get past maybe what's holding us back from being here, and sort of allowing existence to be as it is. And that the true meditation, as you say, is something that we cannot do necessarily. It's something that just happens naturally. It just is.
Yes.
Do you think that so the meditation that we did at the Ananda Mandala is a very active breathing meditation?
Right.
And see, I've traveled around and I've met all different kinds of meditation, different kinds of techniques. And this one is, I'd say, very active, because you're actively controlling the breathing.
Yes.
I've also encountered very passive techniques, especially in the Buddhist traditions, where, for example, sort of Theravada Buddhism, you're just observing the breathing, and it's a little bit more passive, and you're not doing as much. And then in Japanese Zen, they even have a technique called shikantaza, which means doing absolutely nothing, like not doing anything at all. So do you feel maybe are those techniques more of what you would call the true meditation, and these ones that we did here, the Ananda Mandala, is more of a bridge to get there, or do you see all of these techniques as bridges?
All of these techniques are bridges. There's no good, there is no bad. It depends on each individual according to their own spiritual journey, what suits them, and they can apply accordingly.
All of these methods can work, and in the Buddhist traditions, they use the words skillful means. That all of these ways, each way can be used by any individual and to come to the same place. So, for you, do you see all of them as converging into the same kind of awakening?
Absolutely. It's only one awakening. There is no like a Christian awakening or Buddhist awakening or Hindu awakening or Islam. No, awakening is awakening. It's one and the same.
Awakening to this.
Yes, awakening to the reality as it is, without the interpretation of the mind. See, the mind is the one which is actually interrupting our experience. We do so many things, but the mind comes in. So let's say if we are drinking a glass of water, are we actually drinking a glass of water? While we are drinking the glass of water, there are so many thoughts going on. Not actually experiencing life. We've lost that ability of experiencing life. So awakening is actually to experience life in its fullest.
So you say, so the mind is getting in the way of our experience of what it is, of existence as it is. There's so many levels of the mind, and I wonder, how far do you take that? So, for example, you say if you're drinking water and you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, then you're not really experiencing the drinking of the water.
Right.
But you could take it to another level and say the mind is creating the glass of water because really all of it is energy, and the idea that anything is separate, like you or the glass, you know what I mean? That we separate all of these things in our mind, but in reality it's all just one. So would you take it that far to say that this is also part of the way that the mind interferes with our perception of reality, or is that it, or are you only talking about just having too many thoughts in the monkey mind?
No, it is absolutely what you were saying. That's the experience of a child and an enlightened person. So basically, when you see a child lying peacefully, and the child is opening his eyes or her eyes and looking at the light, so the child becomes the light becomes the child. So there is no labeling there. There is no saying, oh, this is light, this is lamp, this is works through electricity, all this. The child doesn't know. So is the experience of an enlightened person, enlightened being. There is no labeling there. So the experience, the experiencer and the object of being experienced is one. The trifurcation becomes one.
I've never heard that word used before, trifurcation. What does that mean?
So the 3 points coming into one place. There is no labeling, there is no naming of any kind. See, all this we have studied. It entered through education, through domestication. We were told this is that, this is this, this is colors, this is, wall. So before that, what was it? It was all nothing but just experience.
So when we get past all of those levels of the mind with the thoughts and the labeling and the sort of, I guess you could say, consolidating of separate items, and we come to this sort of childlike experience of just this, right? So is that still in the mind, is there a level beyond that, beyond experiencing this as one wholeness? Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's a little hard to describe. So if humans didn't exist, if there were no animals or humans or anything, right? This, all that is, this, what you call Sat-Chit-Ananda, this bliss, this existence, bliss, or whatever you had described it as, it exists as existence and bliss without us to be able to perceive it. But when we are perceiving it in a way through our minds, right? So even if we get past the thoughts and past the labeling and past the consolidation, we still just have it as this one experience. Is that still part of the mind? Is there a deeper level of awakening that goes beyond just experiencing this as a wholeness?
Yeah. So first thing you have to understand, this mind is nothing but a prison that we are living in. So we are all prisoners of this mind. Prerequisite for awakening is to come out of the prison. It's exactly how a prisoner is captured in a prison, lives in a prison, cannot experience anything or everything in nature, he or she can't experience the sun, the rain, the nature. So is our experiencing. Merely what we are doing is we are merely existing. We are not living. So once we realize that we are in the prison of the mind, so there are two locks in it. There is an inner lock and the outer lock. The inner lock can be opened by self, by having a passion, I want to come out of it. I am done. I have been living in this prison of the mind for so long, I want to come out. The passion which actually will break the inner lock. The outer lock is opened only by the Divine's grace. Once the outer lock opens, you will start experiencing anything and everything in a completely different way. Things will be same. Your wife will keep on nagging you. You will just experience your wife. You will still eat the same food. You will still go to the same job. But your perception about life itself will change. You will be in heaven. You will be living in heaven, in bliss. That's what is coming out of the mind. That is what is awakening.
Sounds really nice. Okay, cool. I have, I think, one more question. There's a question that has arisen in my mind as I've been talking to different teachers. A question about sort of what's the true purpose in our spiritual practices. Is it about finding truth, or is it about being happy within ourselves? Like you were just describing, you'll feel in heaven because, you won't, you'll just experience your wife instead of being annoyed by nagging or things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of happiness. But there's also this truth that you're talking about, the existence, bliss, and that would exist without us even being here. So which is the purpose? Is it to see the truth of the unity and everything, or is it to find the happiness within the self?
Truth is different to everybody. Truth is like a multi-storied building. The person who is living in the ground floor, his truth or her truth will be completely different from the top floor. So the purpose of all this is being happy. How? Abiding into the nature. The moments that we can share in every day, being happy.
And that's why we do these practices, is to be happy as humans. I guess you were talking about sharing, so like the love that we can share between people to increase happiness among everyone. That's the purpose of the spiritual path. And truth is just as it is, and people experience it differently.
Differently. Yeah. Everyone experiences truth completely differently.
So the search for Sat-Chit-Ananda, the search, the awakening to existence, that's just sort of a prerequisite to experience that kind of happiness that you're talking about.
Yeah, as we start experiencing bliss, happiness in our daily life, it actually will bring you about the inner bliss that you are. It will tap you into the inner bliss.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So I guess the last thing that I wanted to do is just to experience a little bit of the meditation. And before we start that, I guess I just wanted to know why this type of meditation? Why did you pick this one to teach here at Yoga Barn?
Yeah, I teach many different meditation techniques. I like this one because it's quite powerful and quite profound, and it gives the experience in a short period of time to anybody who has not done any kind of meditation whatsoever. So it opens up the doors, the portals to experience whatever is there. Let's say someone is in grief, in sorrow, sadness. It will bring about all that. It will take them out. It will wash away that. And if there is someone who is happy, it will ignite their happiness.
Wow.
To ecstatic states.
Yeah, it's true. It's very powerful. I experienced it in your class. Before we start, I just wanted to know, do you think that it's because of the fast breathing that it is able to do that?
No, the way it is designed is such that there are many other different techniques that I used to do before, same fast breathing, but it doesn't have that profound effect like this one. It's because the way it is designed, and the entire focus is like focusing on the 7 major chakras, the pause. So the fast breathing, as I mentioned, there are 7 cycles of breathing, and after every cycle of breathing there will be a pause. The beauty, the shift which happens in this meditation is the gear that changes, So whenever there is a pause, when you hold the breath, that's where the shift happens.
Wow. So you also have done other kinds of pranayama where it's a very fast kind of breathing?
Yes.
I feel like that fast breathing, because for me, I have mostly my experiences with the Buddhist meditations, and they do just observing. With the fast breathing, I find a lot of energy in the body, and the tingling and everything like that. Do you find that also with the other pranayamas, that you get that same kind of tingling? But this type of meditation is powerful because it uses that tingling and all that energy to focus on the chakras?
Any kind of breathing, heavy breathing, will give you that feeling of tingling sensation. But then, what is the focus? That's what is important. So the focus of this meditation is actually to awaken each and every cell in the body, to be fully alive. Yeah. So
that hyperventilation breathing is brings in a lot of energy, and then this through the structure of this Ananda Mandala meditation, we focus that energy on the chakras to allow that kind of Kundalini awakening that you're talking about.
As far as I understand, hyperventilation happens when you breathe only to the chest. When you go deeper into the abdomen, deep inhalation and rapid exhalation, it doesn't hyperventilate. Of course, it requires a great deal of practice. So as we practice this regularly, it gives a profound experience.
Yeah. And I just wanted to know, because for me, I think of hyperventilation as just breathing a lot and bringing a lot of oxygen into your body. Do you think that it's the oxygen that's making all these tingles, or is it something else?
Could be also the carbon dioxide. So it could be any combination of oxygen and carbon dioxide, all the gases, all the fluids, all the shifts that are happening in the physical body. I can't actually explain in the scientific terms what the chemical processes that happens with the breath. Of course, this this gives us this tingling sensations and the surge of energy that we experience.
Yeah.
And the brain also gets lots of oxygen, so it starts working in different bloodstream, and the heart palpating, and all the different movements happening.
Yeah. So with all this, So my question is, when you're, are you actually moving energy from one chakra to another? What is the process like?
Yeah. So the process is, after the first cycle of breathing, you exhale completely, hold the breath out. At that time, we focus on the first chakra, which is the Muladhara,
Right.
perineum region.
Yeah, that's the maybe the process is the wrong word. That's the method. Right?
Method, yeah, technique.
Yeah. So and that I want to get into in a few minutes. But for now, I just wanted to know, like, what's the I guess, trying to phrase this well. You have all this energy that you get from the breathing, and then you're focusing on the chakras, and you're focusing, let's say, on the perineum chakra,
yeah,
and then you bring it up to the
Sahasrara,
right, the crown chakra.
Crown.
So when you do that, is the intention to move energy up the spine?
Yes, absolutely.
And what's the benefit of moving the energy up the spine?
That is what awakening. That is what the experience of awakening happens.
Huh. Yeah, I did feel that in the class. Every time I brought the attention from down there to here, I would always feel like I always get a big smile when I put it over here, the energy, and it felt more like these chakras were sort of more base instincts.
Absolutely. The first three chakras are for survival.
Yeah. So when I focused on the perineal chakra, for example, I felt, that sort of raw sexual instinct. But then when I brought it up here, it became more just that bliss, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so each chakra has its own kind of energy.
Yes. Absolutely. So the first chakra, perineum region, the Muladhara, activation of this leads to food and sleep. Just want to eat and sleep. The second chakra, Swadhisthana, looking out for pleasures, any kind of pleasures, sexual pleasures or drinking or whatever, indulgence. The third chakra is like the Manipura. This chakra, when it gets activated, one becomes a go-getter in the world. I want to achieve something. I want to, do something. Do some profound work. Whatever. So these are three for survival. Then this is the bridge, the heart chakra. This is the bridge between the lower three and the upper three. So this is like the flowering of this chakra leads to completion of oneness, like you and the other are one. Then there is no boundaries. So you feel that, okay, this air, this wind that is blowing, we are all breathing in this whole planet, isn't it? So if you just close your eyes and listen to what the sounds are happening right now, you can hear the same sound what I am hearing. So basically we are not separated. We are all one. Right? So this is the realization that happens when this heart chakra blossoms, flowers. Then we go up to throat chakra. So this is a powerhouse. When this activates, you become a powerhouse. You become, whatever you say becomes true. Whatever you think, it comes into manifestation. So this is the powerhouse. Then goes to the Agnya, the third eye chakra. So this is the chakra where the Shiva, or the kingdom of heaven, what Jesus talks about, resides just behind here, is the 10th door which is closed. We have 9 doors. which are open. There is the 10th door which is closed. This is what awakens the intelligence, the awareness, the concentration, the memory power. And then the realization, when this activates, you see the divine golden light within the body. It's nothing but we are made up of light. So it's the divine intelligence. And then comes the 7th chakra, which is the Sahasrara, which is just above the crown. This flowering of this chakra leads to the state of complete union with cosmic consciousness. As you were talking, once you bring your energy here, you feel you are connected with each and every galaxies, each and every cosmos, whatever the whole, you are one in consciousness. So this is all this, it does require practice on it.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you like to do a few minutes of that meditation so that people at home can try it? Is it okay to try it at home, or do you need to be in a group?
I would recommend they can check out my website, or they can check out the app that I have.
You made an app?
Yes.
Wow.
It's called CB Now.
CB Now?
Yeah, so SEEBENOW. CB Now, so they can go under my name, Punnu, and this meditation is called Doors to Oneness.
Doors to Oneness.
So they can check out, because it's better to see the whole meditation and practice with it instead of just
And they can get it through the app. Is that on Android and
iPhones? Yes.
Wow, that's cool. Good job.
Thank you.
I want to download that now. And it's okay to practice at home, because I know that you were in your class. You always recommended if there's anybody pregnant or anybody with cardiac issues.
Yes. So there are 3 things that you have to be very careful with this meditations, especially. The first one is whoever is pregnant is advised not to do. Second one is cardiac issues, heart problems. So those people is best not to do. Third one, who has asthma, respiratory ailments, difficulty in breathing, they can do this meditation, but if they feel difficulty, they can stop and then they can continue whenever they are ready. Yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, rest everybody can do this meditation.
Okay, so and for anybody that wants to do it, they can just download the app and it will all be there? The audio and everything is there?
Absolutely. Audio and video.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
But to me, I think it seems more powerful to do it in a group. I felt in the group that it was, I felt that there was energy flowing between the people because we all hold hands.
Yes.
And I'll tell you my experience, because it was very powerful to me that when I would hold the hands of the people next to me, I could feel their emotions through their hands because of the way that they would squeeze or the way that they would tremble, and I could feel their emotions, and I would feel very strong empathy and compassion for them.
Yeah.
And be even able to express kindness just through a simple squeeze. You know what I mean? And to me, that's such a strong. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It's not a good expression, but it's you know what I mean.
Yes.
In a lot of meditation practices, you need to do the concentration practice and then another kindness and metta meditation.
Yeah.
But this almost combines both of them if you do it in a circle.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wouldn't negate any of the Buddhist meditation. They are also beautiful meditation. Vipassana is a beautiful meditation. Metta, Bhavana is a beautiful meditation. As I mentioned, all these meditation have their own place. So it depends on every individual which resonates for them, which works for them. So they can take up any meditation.
Yeah.
It's good to give it a try.
Okay, so the app is the best way for people
to interact with
or
that. If they want audio, what do you call this, digital, they can go into my website, send me an email, and they can.
Okay, cool. I'll put a link to the website below the video, and a link to the app also below the video. And you said there was something on YouTube maybe, or just on the app and the website?
Apps and website, yeah.
Okay, I'll put the links below the video.
Though I have 9 meditations in the app, 9 different meditations.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, so people can check out them, and it's best to, if they are interested in to do the meditation, it's best to subscribe for 1 year.
Mhm.
So they have this 9 different meditations, and they can check it out. And when they put the code Punnu, Punnu, they get 30% discount.
Cool.
So that is also a
Yeah.
good thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And I guess, the last question is okay?
Yeah.
One more
Yeah.
question?
We're flexible.
Okay. I just want to know, what was it that made you realize that you wanted to be a meditation teacher? What made you realize that you wanted to do this with your life?
Well, circumstances brought me to do this. I never planned to be a teacher. See, I was always a student. Even being a teacher, I'm still a student. I'm still open to learn. So as long as we live, we learn. This is what I have learned from the path that I came from. It's called the Sikh, SIKH. That means a student of life. As long as we live, we learn. Even when we become teachers, even when we become powerful people, we still keep on learning. The day we stop learning, we stop growing. So learning leads to growing, growing leads to joy, joy leads to the bliss that we are. So learning never stops, you know.